Join me.
Hey.
Hello, welcome to episode 2 of A Refined Voyage with Kaila and Michelle.
Yes.
I feel like I was very nervous. The first episode was our first episode.
Same.
We've had a couple glasses of sparkling wine.
Thank God.
It's summertime. I'm
She
feeling really
bought
great about
a
that.
bottle,
I
okay?
bought a bottle.
Michelle bought a bottle.
I did. So thank you for joining us. If you're joining us again.
Thank you.
Thank you, because I feel like maybe the first time I wasn't my authentic self and I was a little nervous. So
Also very nervous.
yes. But now that we have had the wine, it's totally fine.
We're fine. Perfect.
If it's your first time joining us, we're two black women from Canada that are in our 30s, and we love to travel and we love to talk about it.
I love it.
And we love to air our grievances and talk
Absolutely.
about some of the struggles. And just kind of, this is our protest in the wake of Black Lives Matter. Yes. So today we're gonna have this is a lot.
Yeah, there is a lot.
We're speaking about a lot today. So again, if you're first joining us, just a little recap. I have lived in about 5 different countries. I've traveled to about 61. You?
Oh my God.
Stop it.
I've lived in 2 countries and I've traveled to, what was it, 20, 21?
I feel like
can't
it's
remember.
more than that, but it's fine.
I don't know.
A lot.
Actually
We're both
don't
in
know.
double digits.
Yeah.
So we've done the footwork, and what we're going to talk about today is dating, because I'm sure everybody has those questions. How is it?
Yeah.
How is it for you?
Yeah,
How is it for me? So I guess I'll kick it off by saying that I am single, not really mingling.
Like you should be. Like Michelle should be.
I am a plus size queen. I happen to be biracial, black biracial, black mixed, from Canada. Traveling has been interesting. Dating. I'm not really into the apps. The apps are not for me. Maybe I'm gonna try it again. I feel like every time I get hype, I drink with my girls and they're like, just do it. Like, yeah. Then I download it, and like 24 hours later, I'm like, I hate this. This is awful. Right. So for me, I found that at home, but mostly abroad, it's been super fetishy. It becomes fetishy about my size. It becomes fetishy about my color.
Your culture.
My culture. Right.
Yes.
So that's how it's been for me. I haven't really explored. Dating is something for me that hasn't been at the top of my list. It's something that, like, I was never really boy crazy when I was a kid. I've been very lucky to have such great men in my life, like just platonically, and like my dad and my brother and my cousin. And my dad just told me specifically, like, that will come later, focus on other things. And I've really took that to heart, and it's never really been at the top of my list. So it's never really been something that has been my priority. My priorities have been school and work and travel. So I feel like maybe I'm lacking in the dating, but every time that I like dibble dabble, I'm like, this is awful. Why did I do this?
And I feel like we're kind of the opposite in
Right.
the sense we're like,
Well, we're opposite in everything.
Yeah,
I'm
we
big,
are.
you're small.
Yeah.
Just even in the different
True.
parts of the world where we've traveled, we're
oh my
super
God,
different.
Yeah. So like you were saying that for you weren't always boy crazy. Like your focus was like school,
Right.
your career,
Right.
and like your parents were like, you know what, that's not what it is.
Yeah.
My parents never had that talk with me. So like whatever my friends were doing, I was like, oh, that's cool. So then I was always like, I was boy crazy, the opposite of you. So like I did date, and like now I'm not single, and I'm with like a great guy who I love.
He's great.
Oh, I love him. He's such a good guy. Cool. Yeah, he's cool.
He's a good egg.
He is. So like I'm super grateful for that. But like complete opposite. Do you know what I mean?
Did you date when you were abroad?
Kind of. Like in a sense, like.
How was it dating in China as a black woman?
Good question. So it's so hard to describe. Like, I didn't date many people when I was China.
Right,
Okay.
right.
So like, I actually dated a Chinese boy.
Ooh.
We never like. He spoke Chinese, I spoke English. I didn't know Chinese, he didn't know English.
Oh my gosh.
But there's this app called WeChat where like you can
Yeah.
translate what the other person's saying. So anyways, so I really like seafood. And there's this seafood stand that I would go to when I got my groceries, and there was this like cute little like guy, maybe the same height as me. I am 5'1". When I exaggerate, I'm 5'2".
I just want to put it out there that I'm almost 6 feet. So like we're literally the opposite in everything. But anyway, go ahead. We're sitting, for those watching, we're sitting down now, so I don't know if you can tell the height
I'm trying really
because
hard.
I'm trying to like slouch. But anyway, yes. So he's 5'1".
Yeah, so he's like 5'1", 5'2", maybe 5'3". Anyways, a really nice guy. Anywho, somehow we communicated and we're like, want to be friends? And yes, we want to be friends. So we exchanged each other's contact. When I go for my squid on the stick, because he worked at a barbecue stand, I forgot to add that, where they sold squid and pork, but I only got the squid because when I was in China, I didn't eat meat. I digress. So he's a super nice guy. He'd be like, oh no, don't worry, that's on me. And I was like, okay. Anyways, so then we dated. So we went on like dates, like we'd go to restaurants and stuff like that. Right. And then, super nice guy. But we never spoke each other's language, so we only strictly communicated through WhatsApp. Super nice guy, like I said, 10 times already. But one day we met up, and and I was like, I'm not feeling well. He's like, oh, you should come to my house or whatever. And my parents like would love to meet you. Went to his house. Dude, I'm in China. Like, now that I think about it, I'm like, I'm fucking crazy. I could have been sold. Like, somebody could have taken my organs at the end of the day. But like, whatever. Like, I'm still here. I'm here to tell this story. Like I said, he's a super nice guy. Brought me to his parents, and his parents were like, oh yeah, like, we don't have a lot of money, but like, I know our son will treat you well. And I was like, shit. He thinks that I'm gonna marry him.
Oh my god.
So then I stopped, like, I kind of like did that, like, I can't do this anymore. You know what I mean? And I felt bad. One, because I figured, like, he told me through our communication through WhatsApp that so China, when he was born, had that one-child policy. So he has a sister, an older sister. He is basically not a person legally according to the system.
Nice.
So essentially what would happen, like, if we were to get married, he would become a person. Because he's literally, legally not in the system.
Oh my god.
That crazy, right?
Was he around our age?
He's around our age, yes.
Oh my goodness.
So, like, anyways, he's not a legal person. If we got married, things would be better for him. I'm Canadian, so another thing is when you're abroad, Canadians are seen as like high on the...
Absolutely, yeah.
And I know that sounds so silly, and it is silly, but that's what it was. Anyway, so I broke it off. I was like, I can't do this, whatever. Absolutely. He was heartbroken. Go ahead with your questions. And he was a great guy, but like that was my experience dating abroad.
So you dated one guy that worked at a squid shop that was an illegal alien in his own country. And before you communicated and hung out once, so I assumed there was
no, we hung out way more than once.
Okay.
Yeah.
But hung out a couple of times, and then essentially he took you to meet his parents to get married because you're a Canadian citizen.
He's a nice guy. He was a nice guy. Yeah, essentially, yeah.
That's where we
that was really good. That was really good.
My summary. I'm very concerned. What's his name? Is he okay?
I don't remember.
So that was your experience dating in China. So you just dated that one guy and it was very intense and that was it.
I mean, there was another guy that like we hung out and like whatever, but like he was a waste dude. So at the end,
waste man.
Yeah, and he was Canadian, so he's like a waste man. But whatever. I don't want to say that, but like things didn't work out. So I'm not bitter, but like whatever, yo.
Right.
I'm happy with where I am right now. But yeah.
And so now we have Brendan, and he's amazing. I hope he doesn't mind me yelling his name. We can block it out later.
It's fine.
So interestingly enough, you and I have met, as we said before, many moons ago, through a different person.
Yes.
I guess
so grateful for him too.
Yeah, he was a friend of a friend, so we kind of connected and stayed in contact.
Yeah.
But funny enough with Brendan and I worked for the same company, but never met.
Crazy.
But never met.
Like
the
way
world.
Yeah.
It's insane. So I know just from my colleagues and stuff that he's a great guy. I've now met him, of course, and you guys are cute and perfect. I'm not gonna say but because I feel like if they say but, it means that something negative. But But I am gonna say his little vanilla smirk.
That's the thing. Brendan is a white guy.
He's a white guy.
I am not a white guy.
You're
or
not
a white girl. Okay.
So interracial dating in a time of change. So right now it's a time of change. With Black Lives Matter, with feminism, I feel like as well, with Black feminism, with intersectional feminism.
Yes.
The rise of Black women and Indigenous women. There's a change happening. It's slow, but it's happening. How is that going for you? And like, what is that conversation like? And have you had conversations? You know, like what's up?
Yeah, so that's a great question. So Brendan has, the funny thing is, like, you guys work together, but like Brendan and I, the way we met is through my cousin Dwayne, who is his roommate. Turns out that I met him. I know, so scandalous. Then it turned out that like Brendan was like, I know who you are, and I was like, what? And then he was like, we went to middle school and high school together, and I was like, what? And then I was like, I don't know who you are. And then it was because like we're 2 years apart, so he's younger than I am. I am a cougar. Yeah. So, anyways, I'm
shooketh.
Yes, 2 years apart. I am a cougar. Hello. But Brendan's a great guy. So during this time, I will tell you, like, when you're in an interracial relation,
that's the one, folks.
Thank you. I've been drinking a lot of wine. Yeah. So it's been challenging, but not as challenging for me. It's been an emotional friggin' roller coaster.
Oh, absolutely.
And it's been an emotional roller coaster because I'm dealing with this, like, everything that's happening, but then it's like at the same time it's like my relationship, obviously. I was once in a Facebook group that said that, like, if you're in an interracial relationship, you are not pro-black. And I was like, wait, hold on, what? Like, do I not love black people? Of course I love black people.
You love yourself.
I love myself. I love everybody that surrounds me. Like, what? That doesn't make any sense to me. So, but Brendan has been very vocal, and he's literally called people out on their hypocrisy when it comes to things that are happening right now, which I'm just like, okay. Okay. Like, and it's not like it's like, oh, that's what you're supposed to do as a human. Obviously you're supposed to do that as a human, but I will tell you that there are humans that do not do that.
Absolutely.
And I'm sure he's not doing it just simply based on the fact that he's dating a black woman. And I'm sure that has to do a lot with what he's doing, because he now
wants to be a part of the change.
He wants to be a part of the change, and he's being a part of the change, and he's vocal about it, and he will talk about it, and he will call you out on your shit. But what is scary is that I am dating this man, and I know that at the end of the day, like, I love him and he loves me, and we've talked about building a future together, but what's it going to be like when we build a future together, and maybe in the future we have children? And maybe you can tell me, Michelle, because you are a part of, your mother is a white woman, and your father is a black African man.
Right.
And I don't know. Is it?
It's tough. We don't have enough time to talk about my
I know.
Maybe that'll be a series on its own.
Right.
What I can say is during this time, I'm not dating at all. I'm not in an interracial relationship. I can say my best friend in the entire world is a white woman. I have many best friends, but I'll say my oldest friend and my best friend is a white woman, and my mom is a white woman. I think for me it's a little different because I'm also first generation Canadian.
Yes.
So, right. So my mother is from Israel and my father is from Ghana, and they're both immigrants, and they both come from a genocidal background.
Both of them.
Yeah. So the struggle and the understanding of struggle has been. They relate.
Yes, absolutely.
On that. However, like I said, I can't speak to being in an interracial relationship, but I can speak being a product of an interracial relationship. And, you know, it was different because we were born in a different time, so it was really different. I was very lucky to have such a strong black man in my life to tell me. I think that my father has told me I'm beautiful almost every day of my life.
That's so important.
And I'm very lucky. And I have a great relationship with my siblings and my family. With my mom, it's been difficult. I'm not going to lie to you. You know, bless her. She's tried her best. But just like simple things of like not knowing how to handle my hair, or not understanding, you know, why back in the day why clothes wouldn't fit me properly, or understanding why sometimes things are really difficult for me when it should be super simple. But I have to say that due to my mom being due to me being first generation Canadian, my mom being immigrant and coming from that genocidal background, she understands. She might not understand what's happening and the subject, but she understands how I'm feeling, and she tries to understand and to listen. And it's definitely been a battle, for sure. And that's a whole other conversation.
Right.
And I think also it has lots to do with identity and how you identify. I identify as a Black, biracial, female, Canadian, Jewish woman.
Yeah.
And some people don't identify as that. And we kind of have to respect that. Whether or not we have our own feelings, we have to respect how people identify with themselves.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure. Wow. That was a lot.
That was a lot.
So, in addition to dating interracially during a time of change... Jeez. That was a Toronto thing.
Yeah.
My friends who I forced to stay abroad. That was a Toronto thing.
Yeah.
Apart from that, we're going through something called the pandemic. And I just want everyone to know that we are in each other's bubble.
Oh my gosh,
We are very safe. We have our masks.
We do.
We took them off just to speak. We're doing this outside, but I guess because it's a pandemic, really. Right, to have that open air. So you will hear some background noise, but that's just our flavor. I feel, as Black women right now, we're not only dealing with a global pandemic, but we're dealing with another global pandemic. You get me?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you're right.
We're dealing with several pandemics, and it's like what? How, Sway? How do we... Does Kanye have the answers? I don't understand.
I really don't think he has the answers to
that was
me,
a bad
honestly.
reference, sorry guys. Recipe slow Kanye. No, it's really, for me, like, guys, I'm sad. I was sad. Last week I was sad. I was sad today. We had some wine, so I feel a little better. We're committed to doing this project together.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we're here.
Yeah.
But it's been really, really difficult because I feel as though, and we've spoken about this and we've bonded about this. It's like everyone is going through something collectively.
Yes.
We are all going through something.
Literally.
However, it doesn't demean our feelings. It doesn't demean what we're going through, and our feelings are valid. And it's been so difficult, at least for me, to express those feelings or to find. You know, right now resources are scarce.
That's the thing.
Right. So resources are scarce. So even if we wanted to outsource and go to therapy, and you know, right, it's expensive. It's not available at the minute. You know, because of everything that's happening. But not only that, with our loved ones, like maybe you just want to talk to a friend. It's just super difficult because I feel like all of my, you know, the things that I'm going through, rightfully so, have been kind of brushed off because it's like, okay, well, I'm going through this, and you're going through this, and it doesn't matter. So yeah, I'm going through the superficial part of it. Like, I miss traveling. Of course I miss traveling. It's a part of me. It's a part of my DNA.
Yeah.
I understand why I can't travel at the minute. I wouldn't do it, you know. But, like, you know, I'm mourning that. I'm mourning that part of me. In addition to that, you know, this pandemic is scary. I have 2 at-risk parents. That's why I'm back home. So that's terrifying. And then on top of that, we're going through this whole civil rights. It is a civil rights movement. Gosh. And then on top of the civil rights movement, we're going through like a Black women, feminist movement. It's like, where do we begin? Who do we talk to? Right. How do we process? You know, what are some things that you've done to like get through this?
I've sat on the toilet and I've cried.
I'm
not exaggerating. I've literally sat on the toilet and I've cried. And I don't. And you've mentioned, like, even like, for example, therapy. Right. Unless you have a job that provides you with benefits, therapy isn't expensive. thing.
And it's unavailable at the minute.
It's unavailable.
Even if you have money, you're in a line.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're like, am I supposed to spend money on my mental health? Or am I supposed to spend money so that I can survive and buy groceries? And that's what it is right now. So, like, for me, coping is something like hanging out with you. Talking to Brendan. Talking to one of my best friends, John. But otherwise, like, I don't have a real coping mechanism.
So we're working on it.
We're working on it. And it's challenging. And, like, I still cry on the toilet. And I cry in the shower. And there's days where I'm really happy. And then there's days where maybe that same freaking day I'm really sad crying on the toilet. So, like, this pandemic has been something else. And
an emotional roller coaster, really.
Yes, and you had mentioned also earlier that, like, you can speak to someone and you're like, maybe I'm feeling this way, I'm feeling bad. But then you yourself, maybe me, I feel guilty for telling someone, oh my God, I feel bad, I feel sad. Because you're like, shit, this person could be feeling bad, this person could be feeling sad too. So, like, maybe your feelings aren't valid. Does that make sense?
Of course.
And it's not like it's like a regular day where it's like, oh yeah, maybe I'm feeling sad or bad, but like this person could be doing well. No, it's everyone collectively going through something. But for us, and I don't want to like demean it or whatever, but like for us, I feel like as Black women, we are feeling something completely different than what other people may be feeling. And that's that. Maybe I don't want to sound really like condescending about it or like we're feeling so bad, but they do. But as Black women, we are dealing with Black Lives Matter movement. We are dealing with this pandemic. We are dealing with the loss of jobs. We are dealing with death. And I don't think anyone else is. Maybe, I don't know. It's hard to say. Again, it's something that's hard. It's a lot that I feel like we're dealing with.
Yeah. I feel like, for me, a couple of things that I've done are, this is just personal. We're very lucky because it's summer. I can't speak to the winter. The winter's going to be a rough one. We're in Canada.
I hope that I'm a bear by then and I can hibernate.
We're in Toronto.
Yeah.
Southern Ontario. We do get all 4 seasons here. But the winters are quite rough. So I can't speak to the winter at the minute. I will say that in my experience in traveling and living in different countries and places that do have a few seasons, we're very lucky in Toronto actually, because the winter time here usually, pre-COVID, I don't know how it's going to be this year, we do have a lot of stuff going on. We do have a lot of, we love winter sports. It's incorporated into our school systems. So even if, I mean, I grew up in low-income housing, the hood, as I mentioned before, and you know, even though maybe I didn't go to the best school, we did have ice skating and skiing and camping incorporated into our school system. Right. So it's something that's a part of me. So we're quite lucky here. However, right now we're super lucky because it's summertime. We're able to enjoy the outdoors. So a couple of things that I've been doing. I know you rollerblade.
Yes.
I bike ride. Yes. I love my bike.
Oh, bike rides.
So I go on little bike rides. I love parks. I love the beach.
Yeah.
So I've been doing a lot of beaching, a lot of reading on the beach, a lot of writing, and that's kind of my escape. It's only an escape for such a short amount of time that I found that I need to kind of find other ways to cope, and I really don't know where to turn.
Right.
It's been very difficult. Is it healthy to throw yourself into work? I don't know.
Our resources are very limited.
Very, very limited. So if you do have a job, maybe throwing yourself into work, is that healthy? I know a lot of my friends and family have families, so they've been taking that time to kind of hang out with their families, whether it be their children, their parents, and get back to that. But again, resources are limited. I mean, I came back home to kind of help. My father has chronic kidney disease, so he does dialysis every other day. So he's out of the house. I have a little brother. He's cool. He works. So he's out of the house. He works 6 days a week. My mom still has to work. She didn't stop. She hasn't stopped since COVID. Yeah.
What?
Yeah. She has to work. My sister doesn't live in the house. She's also working. So it's like, okay, yeah, I want to spend time with your family, but like, what time? You know? So it's been really hard.
Of course.
I guess I am not an expert, but for me, I'll speak to travel. And for me, it's been kind of safely re-falling in love and rediscovering the city that I'm in. Maybe even just the borough. Like I'm from East End. I'm an East End pig.
Yeah.
From Scarborough. East End pig. I'm from Scarborough. Yeah. And just, you know, finding those trails that I haven't been on in 15, 20 years. And, you know, the bluffs and finding these like amazing places or rediscovering these amazing places. And it could be something as easy as you know, maybe in the winter it'll be like snowshoeing. Maybe I'll order some snowshoes on Amazon,
which is kind of fun.
And put some coffee in my thermo and do that and try to find solace. I've been reading a lot. I'm going to be adventurous and say, or overzealous and say, I can put at the bottom of this video a podcast link, all of the books that I've read and that I can recommend.
Good idea.
Yeah, it's been 25 if you're interested. I've read 25 novels since
COVID?
Since March, yeah. It's not that many, actually, considering all the time. But yeah, so to all of the beautiful people out there, to all the beautiful Black women, men, Indigenous women, we love you. We're here. We're going through the same struggle. And hopefully we'll have, you know, better news and better ways to cope. And I'd love to hear. So to all of the family and friends that I'm going to force to listen to this and watch this, share your experiences and let us know. Please do. I think that's it. That's it for today. That's a lot. I don't even know.
Thank you.
This might be a long one.
This might be a long one. But today, honestly, thank you for
watching, for listening, whatever you're doing.
Being here for a refined voyage.
A refined voyage. Our voyages are refined.
Absolutely.
They're tailored to us. And we thank everybody for listening. And
thank you so much.
We're gonna continue, I think.
Yes. Oh my God. Yes.
We have a lot to talk about. So come back, join us, subscribe.
Let's have a
if
good
that's
time.
A thing.
Yeah, it is.
And we look forward to speaking to you and talking at you soon.
Let's have a good time. Mwah.
Let's have a good one.
Okay.
Bye. Like what you hear? Hit that subscribe button.